back with Chelsea Handler, and the stand-up special is the first one in 6 years. It's called Evolution, and you talk about lots of different things, and you get very real about some things. One of the things that I really related to with you is your impatience problem. I have a big problem with impatience as well, and we showed a little bit of that clip about, but then you go further into that delivery of food.
Yeah, I'm glad that, I mean, I think most people have I mean, not most people, but a lot of people have a lack of patience. And I had a severe case of it. I still have it, but now I have a toolkit. But I walked into my psychiatrist's office the first time I talked to him, and I was like, listen, I need patience. He said, what do you want to talk about? You know, I'm like, not my childhood, there's nothing to see there. I'm like, I just need to get more patience. I'm like, I have a quick temper, and I can turn on a dime. And I'm like, I need to be slower. And he wanted an example, and I told him, you know, going into those bookstores at the airport. I spend a lot of time at airports, and I go into the Hudson bookseller store, and the slowness of that transaction, the slowness of the person who's working behind the desk, who's never there, they're never there, they're never there. It's like, are you a koala bear or a person? You know, they're like half asleep, they're half helping you. And I was telling him, and he goes, well, what do you do in this instance? And I said, I have to shoplift. And he said, well, you can't be serious. And he looked at me, and I was like, oh no. I'm like, is that more white privilege? And he said, no, Chelsea, white people aren't even doing that. And I said, I don't shoplift. I wave the book up to the camera, and I'm like, hey, it's me, Chelsea Handler. I'm just gonna put $40 on the shelf, and hopefully you guys find it before a shoplifter does.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people have that problem, like you said, lack of patience. But and I'm working on mine as well. But I'm too impatient to wait for it to kick in.
The thing is, you can cultivate it, and
Yes.
lack of patience is connected to empathy, and those two things are joined together, so you can cultivate empathy.
Yes.
When he told me I had no empathy, I was like, oh my God, like a Republican, you know? And then I said, how do I get it? Like, can I get an app? Is there an app to download? And he said, no, but don't worry, you can cultivate those things. So I'm with you on the patience. It's very challenging sometimes, because you want things to be like this.
Yeah. Well, that's how everything in my life I do that. So I expect everybody, which you can't expect everybody to be the same. I want to talk about your, you talk about losing your brother in the special, and you get really emotional, which, you know, I've heard you talk about it before, but I think maybe going to therapy has helped you really get in touch with your feelings more, because you got really emotional talking about your brother.
Well, yeah, and thank you. I wanted to be real, you know? I like to be real. I like to air my dirty laundry. That's what I do. So I like to overshare, and this was a personal story that I just came to grips with, like, in my 40s. So to be able to share it on stage in the medium of stand-up, you know, I wanted to accomplish that feeling. Remember Steel Magnolias, that movie? And Julia Roberts' character dies, and Sally Field is so upset, and she's like, I just want to hit somebody, I just want to hit somebody. And Olympia Dukakis is like, here, hit Weza, and throws her in there. And you go from this hysterical crying to this hysterical joy and laughter. And I really just love that moment, and I really wanted to be able to accomplish that in the form of stand-up.
Yeah, and you did. It was great. It's really great.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a break again, because we need to
go to the bathroom.
Yes, that's what they need to do. And then we'll be back.